Taking your calls tonight on who is an underrated footballer who never got the recognition that he deserved but was a great. We've already had Matt Letizia been mentioned. So it's going because Mesut Ozil.
Are you having that Matt was underrated?
Who?
Do you think
Matt Letizia? Well, look, the reason I say underrated, right? When you talk about greats in the Premier League, you instantly think Lampard, you think Scholes, you think Roy Keane, then you go Thierry Henry, you go Wayne Rooney, you go for Alan Shearer, right? But there are other players out there who are complete greats of the game, but they don't get talked about. There's players out there you go, oh yeah, he was a great player, but no one mentioned him. And the reason I say that is because I thought Mesut Ozil was a great player. But people don't really give him the recognition that he deserves. Like Arsenal fans ended up hating him. But he was at Real Madrid. He won everything. Comes to Arsenal. I think, you look at some of the stats that he's got in the Premier League. He's got records in, for the most chances created in a single season. Most chances created in a Champions League game. Yeah,
lazy, overrated at Arsenal.
He used to make the ball do the work.
Mate, honestly, I've never seen a player with so much talent be so underwhelming. Arsenal fans used to love him, right? They're fanboys. I called Ozil years ago saying there's something missing about his game.
Well, you called him?
I called him out.
Oh, right.
About the fact that he was talented, technical ability. All right, Mesut, hold on.
He's retired. He's not happy. He's phoned up.
I'm sorry, mate. No, I'm saying it. No, you're lazy. He's gone.
Who would you rather have right now, Ozil or Ødegaard?
Oh, mate, honestly, don't. That's not even a conversation. Ødegaard makes things happen. Energy,
but this is what I mean. Jace. No. Like he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. You've already palmed him off for Ødegaard, who's won nothing yet in his career. No. Great player. But you've just binned him.
No, I have binned him because if you gave me so Ozil for me is a luxury player, right? So when I say
but you've got to look back to the eras, Jason, of when you was allowed to be a luxury player.
Okay.
You can't be that now.
No.
Because the game's changed.
He was a luxury player. He's one of those players that you built a team around, and if he didn't perform, Arsenal suffered. Right, Ødegaard, he's not a luxury. He's one of those. He leads with. That's why he wears the armband. He leads with example. He fights. He'll dig in. He'll do the hard graft. He'll do the work without the ball. Ozil without the ball, mate. Waste of time. Absolute waste of space. Complete. He was.
He's not a waste of space. Look, let's go to Aaron, who's an Arsenal fan. He'll know better, all right, Azza?
Hi. It's Aaron from London. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Oh, Owen. Sorry, yeah, we've got Aaron here. Sorry, mate. Owen. It's Owen. Look, I know there's a couple of players you want to talk about, but just before that, Ozil, he was a great, in my opinion, a great player, a world-class player in his day when he was at his prime. Would you agree with that?
No, I completely agree with that. I think he's heavily underrated. The stats speak for themselves. That bounce pass, the bounce shot that he had, of course, but I called up actually to talk about another two underrated players that I think are really underrated in the Premier League.
Go on.
Yeah, so basically they're not going to get recognition because the first one, because he's a single pivot, is Carrick. Yeah. And Carrick I'm an Arsenal fan. I would say at Tottenham he was great, at Man United he was great. And if you look at nowadays, our England team, Declan Rice is not a great single pivot. He's a great box-to-box midfielder. He can't take the ball and spin like Frankie de Jong or Enzo Lefebvre in the French league. And I know obviously you only watch flipping English football, but I thought I'd throw a couple names in there. And then on top of that, Yaya Toure is another one who's heavily underrated.
You're right.
Guardiola destroyed him in terms of putting him centre-back in CDM. He came as a cam, attacking mid.
Hold on. Where are you on this CDM cam? What's this? What's going on here? How old are you, Owen?
I'm 28.
28. Okay, listen. Okay, so this is the new phrases of football, right? CDM, the cam.
Okay, so centre back, defensive mid. That's what Hardy Liverpool.
I know. I'm only messing with you, Owen. I'm only messing.
Oh, and I absolutely agree with you on Michael Carrick and Yaya Toure. I know Manchester City fans see him as a great. But he's again another one that isn't talked about enough in what he achieved in the game and what he done.
I disagree. I think he is talked about.
Well,
I think he is revered. I think people do know him as he is an absolute monster of the Premier League. I think he is.
Would you put him in your all-time Premier League midfield?
Well, I mean, you've got 4 spaces, right?
You've got 3 in midfield.
Well,
pick 3 right now.
Yeah, but he's in the conversation, isn't he?
Is he in your conversation?
I think he is, yeah. Carrick isn't for me.
Carrick was unbelievable.
Yeah, but not for me.
His ball retention, the way he played. When he went to Manchester United, it was all about Scholes and Becks and Giggs and Rooney.
Yeah, maybe.
Michael Carrick was the player that made everything happen for them.
Yeah,
he was the first line of when he got the ball, and he was the one who made the pass.
Yeah, a brilliant player, but I don't know whether he's in the conversation for the. I mean, how many players
would you put him as a Premier League great?
No,
you wouldn't put Michael Carrick.
I mean, United great, maybe, but not a Premier.
Well, he's a Man United great. He's a Premier League great.
Yeah, really. Yaya Toure for me. Give me a choice of the different types of players, right? Yaya Toure, I don't think is underrated. I don't think he is he?
Yeah, but if you was going to put... Right, it's easy to say, right, yeah, Premier League great, here's my 11, you just put all these great players in, right? But if you actually wanted a balance to your side, right, and you actually were going to pick the right player for each position to play and actually put a team together, Michael Carrick would be in the conversation, because if you was going to have that holding midfielder in front of the back 4, you would want someone like him. No? You're not sure?
No, I'm not sure. All
right, let's go to Freddie, who's an Arsenal fan. All right, Freddie?
How's it going, Glad? You all right?
Yeah.
Great show as always.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Go on, Freddie. What do you want to say?
Listen, I'm an Arsenal fan in all my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Özil come to Arsenal, I was genuinely disappointed because he's not the sort of player we needed at the time when he came. He's a kind of luxury player, I agree, and he's a great player, like I agree with you also. But it's what you want in football as well and what you build your team around. And for me, Özil's not a guy for the Arsenal to build a team around.
You know, he got Arsenal Player of the Season in 2015-16.
Yeah,
the player of the season.
Let me flip that question with this, right? Is Harry Kane world class to you, yes or no?
Yes.
All right, is Jamie Vardy world class?
Who?
Jamie Vardy. Was he world class?
No, not world class.
Why not? He's won the Premier League. He's been top goal scorer.
No, but you answer your own question. That doesn't mean you're world class, does it? I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I know, because you know I have a debate. That's why.
No, but world class players, players that won the World Cup haven't been world class.
Yeah, but there's loads of players that have won trophies that have been bit parts and mainstream or haven't been as effective, right? But Jamie Vardy was the front runner of that Leicester team as well as the other people, respectively. But Harry Kane is that main guy at Tottenham, right? And they just can't get him over the line. And that's no disrespect. I do think Harry Kane is a fantastic footballer as well as a striker. But Vardy won your matches more than Harry Kane, that tells me.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the stick you're going to beat Harry Kane with. It is. Jamie Vardy is not... you can't compare the two. Different types of centre-forwards. Different types. And what Leicester, what Ranieri got that season, and we spoke about this many times, it's like all the stars lined up. You know, it's you were talking about a team of very, very good players. Simpson at right back, Fuchs at left back, right? Not world-class players, but slotted into the way they played.
They had Mahrez as well. People that didn't really know about how good some of them players actually were.
Kante in the middle of the park, right? Schmeichel, it's starting to become a brilliant goalkeeper. But they had experienced players like Huth, alongside Morgan, who come from nowhere. Really, you think about Morgan's career. He was the skipper of that side. That back 4, I don't care who you supported that season. All right? I don't care what league you support. You could name that back 5. They were absolutely... It was remarkable how they all just worked together. And not only that, you get partnerships all over the pitch, right? So Simpson would have had... There were players... Mahrez was in front of them largely, right? Okazaki was part of that team. Danny Drinkwater, N'Golo Kante, Albrighton.
Yeah, they had a good side.
Right? And then they got Vardy up top, and they had other players in and around... Alua as well, the other boy, Ajoa, right? That team, they didn't have a whole... It wasn't a squad. They had a squad, a squad of about 15 players, largely, that played that season. Every single game, and they were magnificent. It was almost like a dream that you think, how can this team work? And
just quickly going back to Mesut Ozil, He won the PFA Fans Player of the Month in April, November and December 2015. He won UEFA Team of the Year 2012, 2013. German Player of the Year in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2015, 2016. Most assists in the Premier League in 2015. You know, we talk about players who are great and underrated and end up having a sour taste because maybe their career goes in a different direction. You cannot get away that he was a Premier League great.
Had a heart as big as a pea.
He won the World Cup.
I don't care. I see. There's two things at the front of my head. I watched him. I observed him. He was lazy. Lazy, and he needed players around. There was no lazy players in that Leicester team. He wouldn't fit into that Leicester team. He would not have won a Premier League medal playing for that Leicester side because he didn't work hard enough. Wouldn't have slotted in.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.